Get those wonderful toys. I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing you another toy review. Today we are looking at the DC Collectibles DC Essentials Deathstroke figure. This is figure number 2 from a brand new line from DC Collectibles called DC Essentials. This line is 7-inch scale. They're on the taller side of things, around with NECA and Diamond figures, a little bigger than your Mattel DC Universe, Multiverse figures, just a tiny bit, and quite a bit bigger than its predecessor, the DC Icons line. I much prefer this scale. The articulation is absolutely amazing on this line. I very much enjoy the figure that I opened so far, Batman. He can do pretty much any pose you want him to do, and he matches height with DC Direct and DC Collectibles' previous offerings. Now these figures have some paint blemishes on them, and I bought 2 of them, one with the intention of keeping unopened and one with the intention of opening. I usually choose the better paint job to open as I can enjoy them loose more. You may or may not be able to really see, but this guy here, he's got a little something on his chin which really bothers me, honestly. The other guy, his line on his face is not quite as crisp as this one, but I will say that his defects bother me less than the other guys. You can kind of see some orange that strayed onto the other side. Just be pretty careful when selecting your figure. I always get 2 of each figure. That's just what I do for bat-related figures because I need them for my unopened collection. For my OCD, makes me get every one unopened. But buying 2 figures always gives me a choice of which paint job to choose from. That's why I'm pretty comfortable ordering online. I always have options. I got these figures for $17 and some change from DCBservice.com. I pre-order pretty much all of my DC collectibles from them. You have to pre-order quite a bit ahead of time, but you get a 33% discount off of the manufacturer suggested retail price, and I do love not paying their $28 retail price, or actually they've lowered these to, I don't know, $23 or so dollars. Here are the 2 figures in their boxes, side by side. Standard DC collectible packaging they've been using recently. Here's the front. Top, nice Deathstroke logo. Side, nice picture of the guy. Back, you see the entire Wave 1 figure set. I opted for just getting Batman and Deathstroke as I only really collect Batman related characters. Bottom, nothing really impressive going on down there. I do find the name of this line slightly amusing, and I know I'm repeating myself from a different video, but this line is called DC Essentials. Last year or the year before, they made a line called DC Comics Essentials, and essentially, it was a re-release of previous figures. This is the New 52 Batman. I already had him from the 7-pack and also a single release, but I decided to get this one unopened because it's a different variation of the package unopened for my unopened collection. Just amusing that they would use such a similar line. When I heard they're making a new line called DC Essentials, I thought to myself, no, that's already a line that exists out there. Here are the 3 figures on my shelf with my comics and my other recent unopened acquisitions. So, shall we get to it? I'm eager to open this guy. I don't know about you guys. I thought long and hard if I should do the unboxing on camera or not. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Please comment and tell me if you prefer to see or not to see that. So, box, typical little bit of tape on the top. Tape on the sides. I always enjoy opening a brand new figure. Bam. pop them out. Nice junky background I'm going to have fun throwing away. So get the pistol out. Nice accessory. His sword looks like if this was DC Direct Days, it probably would have broken, taking that out of the package. Bam, you got your dude. He's ready to go. Little twisty tie. Okay, bandana's in there. It should be fine taking him out of there. On a lot of the Batmans, I will often cut them out of their package as to not try to destroy anything. He's coming out just fine there. Oop, his sheath. Careful, you see that? It's stuck in the plastic. I would have ripped it off if I didn't catch that. Alright, he's out of the packaging. Alright, now that we got him out of the package, like I predicted, he's a gorgeous figure with absolutely great articulation. So, first of all, his accessories. He has a sword, very similar to previous Deathstroke releases. Here is actually the Icon sword, almost exactly the same from the comics. Good stuff. He's got a pistol, nothing too spectacular here, just standard pistol. He does have a sheath for his sword. I do like working weapon holsters. Bam, you can put that in there. And speaking of weapon holsters that function, you've got his pistol in a holster. I like it. He does have a knife on the side, which is just for show. It is a non-functioning holster, which is, mildly annoying, but not a very big deal. So the first thing I notice off the get-go is that he has two hands. One on the right side is a fist, and the one on the left side is an open hand, semi-fist. Me personally, I would prefer to have both the hands to be semi-open, fist-ish. That way you can double him up as a fist and hold his weapons. As he is right now, he will never hold both of his weapons at the same time. He can only hold one with his left hand. So articulation. Excuse me. I'm very impressed with his head. He can look up that high, and he can look that low. He can definitely be on top of a building looking down. You can also add his ab crunch to that. He can really, really look down. Let's see, he can really look up pretty nicely as well. I do enjoy that. He can be on this turtle building looking down. So his head full, all the way around, no problem. You can definitely take his head off very easily. This tells me they were probably planning to include an unmasked Deathstroke head and cheaped out on us. I actually took out the Mezco Deathstroke head just for curiosity's sake. It doesn't really fit in the joint properly, but it looks pretty nice on this guy. So he's got his shoulders, ball joints in there. They can go out about yay far. He's got a bicep swivel on both sides. He's got double jointed elbows on both sides. Can go about this far in. His wrists go all the way around, and then they go up and down. His hands also come out very easily, which implies to me they were planning to include extra heads, extra hands, and they cheaped out on us, which I am happy they brought the price of the figure down. They had crept up to $28, which was absolutely insane. They're getting close to just a little bit over $20. Definitely appreciate that, although we all want more accessories if possible. So his ab crunch, to me, is kind of Revel-tech-y. It makes popping noises when you move into each little segment. Nice range of motion there. He's got his waist, can go all the way around, no problem. His legs, now they go out a lot farther than I would have expected or needed, but I do appreciate that. I don't know why you would want to make Deathstroke do the splits, but you sure can if you want to. They can go this far out, not fully 90, but very close, and then back, not really far at all back. He's got a thigh cut. He's got double jointed knees, so that'll be great for posing purposes. He can go all the way back there. He's got a calf cut, which is kind of interesting and seems sort of unnecessary. His feet now, they go up, they go back. Can't really do much else. Now the joint in there, if you want to mess around and turn it to the side and put the foot back while holding the joint in place, you can kind of use that as an ankle rocker. I do not believe that's how it's intended to be used, so this figure really doesn't have ankle rockers. It would have a choice between ankle rocking or just standard foot joint. So effectively, this Deathstroke has a little bit more articulation than the Batman, which is interesting and impressive at the same time. The Batman actually did not have a calf cut, just something interesting to point out. So, how about we get to some size comparisons, shall we? So first of all, we've got Deathstroke compared to Batman. Let's get a little height comparison going on here. These figures stand just under 7 inches. You can kind of see here, they're pretty much the same size, about 6 7/8 inches. Batman is maybe a hair taller than Deathstroke. Wonderful figures. I cannot wait to get more figures in this line. I'm definitely planning to get Nightwing, Harley Quinn, Joker, and Batgirl, and anything else Bat-related that they come out with. I hope this line continues for a long, long time. Nice versions, comic versions of these figures with great articulation. Enjoying these first 2 figures from the line. Like I said, there's pretty much no pose they cannot do. Here he's holding a sword. You can have these guys, you know, crouching, anything you can really imagine. Looking down off this top of this building over here. Just fantastic articulation. Most that we've ever gotten from DCC. Reminds me of the Crime Syndicate style articulation. Fantastic. I have also seen people complaining about the length of the arms of these figures. I really don't have any problem with it myself. His arms do not go down to the knees. When I stand up, my arms come down to a pretty similar point, which is a little bit above the knees. So I personally have really no issue with that whatsoever. If it does bother you, just simply crank up the elbow a little bit. You'll be good to go. Here is the DC Essentials Deathstroke compared to the Mattel DC Universe Classics Deathstroke. This will be the same size as the current DC Mattel Multiverse figures. They run about 6.5 inches. This DC Essentials Deathstroke is running just under 7. I'm not so picky as to have an issue with these 2 figures next to each other, but I know a lot of people are. DC Essentials running quite a bit bigger than your Multiverse or your Mafex or your Figure Arts. He's running around par with Marvel Legends, Diamond, McFarlane figures. Here is the DC Essentials Deathstroke compared to the DC Icons Deathstroke. I would call the Icons the predecessor to the DC Essentials line. I personally sort of despise the Icons line, for they were smaller than anything else I really had and didn't fit in that well. They're even slightly smaller than the Mattel Movie Masters. I'm very happy they went back to 7-inch scale. I know that not everybody feels that way. This guy actually has more articulation than the Icons figure, but less accessories. The Icons figure does not have a thigh cut. He does have a calf cut hidden by the boot. All in all, this articulation scheme is absolutely fantastic, and it doesn't hinder the sculpt very much. Looking forward to more. Next size comparison is the DC Direct, or maybe it's DC Collectibles. I'm actually not sure which brand of the company made this figure, but it's the new 52 Deathstroke from the comics. He is pretty much exactly the same scale as the DC Essentials Deathstroke, so they definitely went right back to their old 7-inch offerings. This will fit with all of your previous DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures, which is what pleases me the most. I did not like them starting a new scale. Much better articulation than this guy, though. And here he is next to a Mezco 112 Deathstroke figure. Mezco is similar to the DC Universe Classics scale of 6.5 inches. Just another size comparison. Absolutely love both these figures. And so here is Deathstroke in his shelf. This is where I say he stays when he is off duty. I call it his base, just sort of his display area. Pretty much got all the 6 and 7 inch Deathstrokes from all various lines over the years. Would highly recommend getting this figure. The DC Essentials seems to be a great line. I hope it goes on and on and on. It gives us a ton of new characters. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any suggestions for me to make the next one better, please share them with me.